guys, how are we doing? Welcome back to another video, and welcome to the first episode of a new series that I'm going to be doing over the next few weeks. It's going to kind of be like a podcast. It can perhaps replace the Off the Woodwork podcast that me and my friends were doing, but it's just mainly going to be me talking about RuneScape. And I thought about this. I thought I played the game for such a long time now. Should I maybe do a series where I discuss loads of different factors in the game with a different one each week, and that can range from the past, things that have happened in the past, updates, what my favourite quests are, favourite skills, and then just sort of general things that have always been quite popular in the RuneScape community. So definitely see this as in a podcast, and there won't probably be that much on-screen content, but it's just something that you can listen to while you're playing the game, if you're interested, in my opinion, that is, or if you just want to kind of hear about the game. Anyway, you never know, I might bring up something that you didn't remember in the past and you might find it interesting. I'll try not to make these sort of too long, so hopefully I'll limit it to maybe sort of 10 to 20 minutes, maybe 20 minutes max, 10 minutes minimum, something like that, and just talk about a different topic each week, and produce these videos maybe 1 to 2 a week. And since I've pretty much got nothing else to do, well, I can't say that I've got 10 deadlines in my course, but for the next amount of time while I'm in lockdown, while we're all in lockdown and can't get out of a house, and RuneScape's anything we can do. So without further ado, we'll get straight into today's episode. Episode 1 then, this is going to be about the Grand Exchange, one of RuneScape's most, I would probably say, controversial updates, to be honest, both in RS3 or RuneScape as we knew it, and old school RuneScape 2. Just a bit of information about it. So if you don't know what the Grand Exchange is, you must know what it is if you play the game, but if you don't, we refer to it as the GE usually. It's a trading system for players to purchase and sell items that are tradable in RuneScape, and if you remember, you get 8 slots in which you can buy and sell items, but if you're free play, you're limited to 3. In RuneScape itself, it was released in November 2007, so a good 13 or so years ago now. In old school, it was released about just over 5 years ago, February 2015. It passed in old school by a very narrow margin, 76.3% voted in favour, passing the 75% threshold that there was. To start with, what's my opinion? Well, I'm probably like the poll, to be honest. I'm kind of 75-25 in terms of like it and hate it. It was a very controversial update. There were a lot of people who thought, especially when it came to old school, that it would kind of ruin the integrity of the game, but then others wanted it for sort of the reasons I'm about to explain. So what are the main sort of advantages of the Grand Exchange, in my opinion? It's made the game so much more, easy, to be honest, but I'd say convenience would be the right word to use, because the Grand Exchange saves so much time and hassle. There's no need to trade in Baroque for hours, but then for some people that's part of the game, and that's what they used to love. You almost have a bit more control of the prices that way, then you can buy and sell for whatever price you want. But then again, the Grand Exchange does fix the prices for you, and that's just pretty helpful. The main conveniences are things like gearing up for a quest. Like if you need, say, 10 or 20 items for a quest, you can just go straight into the GE and buy them all within about 5 minutes probably, whereas before sometimes it was a bit of hassle having to trade people or buy from stores, and it could probably take you like hours if you were struggling, but with the G you can just get all the items you need within a matter of minutes usually. Funnily enough, for some quests, some of the like sort of weird items you need, like if you need, I don't know, a red cape for a quest, you might end up paying like 10k for it, but you still get it. That's the main thing. It just saves you that time. Like, you'd rather pay that time. You'd rather pay that money instead of having to wait it out to sell for a low price. I think in general it kind of helped the economy for sort of RuneScape, got things flowing quite well, because I guess trading's a bit sort of inconsistent perhaps. Like items, I think, especially clue scroll items, were very up and down. I remember at the start of old school, like some items would be worth loads, but with the Grand Exchange it comes in and sort of stabilises them a little bit, and unfortunately does make quite a lot of them cheaper, but at least they're consistent. It prevents scamming, I guess. That's one of the disadvantages of free trade. People will scam you, and obviously it's your responsibility not to get scammed, but the Grand Exchange prevents any chance of that happening at all, because it's you versus the computer, and the computer can't scam you, and if it does scam you, then contact Jagex. No, don't really, it wouldn't do that. And I think if you transition to Iron Man mode, this is probably one of the main benefits actually. It's like an indirect benefit. If you're playing Iron Man, you obviously can't use the Grand Exchange, and it makes Iron Man therefore really challenging. and you have to just play the game without any use of the GE at all. And like, I just kind of think that it's just a completely different way. It changes how you approach the game completely, and it makes Iron Man mode quite fun. Iron Man mode is something I want to start up soon, but I'm just waiting till I submit all my work and then I can consider that. And more convenience of the GE, it's just a nice place to have, like, outside the wilderness, and it's a good place for PvP too. Like if you're going bounty hunter, or used to go bounty hunter, it's not going at the moment. But yeah, if you go in PvP, you can just buy all the supplies you need and then go and fight, and if you die, you can just go straight back there, buy all your supplies again, and sort of start it again. Like people do a lot of PvP at the Grand Exchange. And then finally we've got like the figures there for convenience, like the herd decanter, the person who does arm sets. So yeah, I mean, I've discussed a lot of benefits there. That's kind of why I'm like 75-25 in favour and against, because the convenience of it does make the game a lot less tedious. And tedious parts of RuneScape are part of the game, I would agree. Like there are parts where you just have to sort of grind out, quests, like one small favour, and tedious can be fun, but not tedious is not fun in the way that you'd have to buy 20 items for a quest and it would take you 2 hours. Like, if you sort of understand what I mean there. So on to the disadvantages. Again, these are pretty much all my opinion, not many of them I can say are facts, so like disclaimer on that respect. As far as the game becoming convenient, it's just become easy in that respect, especially when starting out. I know they have put some restrictions on like quest points needed, and there is a buy limit every 4 hours, and like trading restrictions for new players, but it just does make the game 75% easier. And for me, it sort of took the fun a little bit out of the game when it first came in. I think 2015. Not really 2007. I can't really remember how I felt about it at the time, but it was just such a big change from obviously having to trade people. But now we've all got used to it, so it's a sort of integral part of the game now. But yeah, I mean, especially when starting out, I think when you're starting out, that's when things do often take a lot longer, and the GE has sped that up a lot. So the process to building up an account can be a lot easier because of the Grand Exchange, and yeah, people not needing to sort of grind for any items. And then things like your really rare items, so items that you might only get as drops from bosses, you effectively don't need to do any bossing to get them, because if you've got the money, you can just purchase them on the Grand Exchange. And does that take a bit of the fun out of bossing? I mean, for me, I'm not much of a PVM myself, but it might do. You wonder why you've got to kill something when you can just go and spend a load of money buying it, unless you actually like the bossing, which in that case is fine. But I think maybe they could have. There are some items that you can't buy or sell them on the G, and you can only get them from bosses. All untradeable items in that respect. But I think sort of too many items are available just to sort of buy freely, where I wish you could kill something to have to get them. Well, I mean, the Fire Cave was a good example actually. It's an item like you can only get from killing Jad. You can't buy it. It's kind of worth it in the end. But I guess there's not really a way around that, because then again, the people who are bossing for those items will then want to sell them and make money. So if they can't sell them, can't make money, there's no point doing the boss in the first place if they're doing it for money. So I've kind of undone what I said there in a way, but that's kind of what these videos are supposed to be about, me suggesting kind of good things, bad things, but at the end of the day, what's kind of the overall opinion. And another thing, merching, I guess, has become a way that you can make money, but merching is not really bad, to be honest. It's just what you can do with the Grand Exchange if you either get lucky or you pay good attention to the economy. That was my kind of analysis as quick as possible. I did actually make a video on this back in 2015, just about a month before the poll passed, and I said fairly similar things actually. So my opinion hasn't changed that much over the last 5 years, which I don't think it ever will. So I mean, to summarise, I prefer having the Grand Exchange in the game, but I don't necessarily think it was the best thing for the game. I think the game could have done without it. I don't think it feels essential now we've got it, but I don't think it was ever essential to bring it in. Obviously in old school it was always going to happen, I think, but I mean in the first place in RuneScape, back in 2007, it wasn't essential, but that I guess was the period where they started bringing in loads of updates. So I mean, I'm happy to have it in the game overall, and I will continue to use it a lot, but I think it just did make the game a bit too easy, but there was no real way around it. It was either going to come in and the game would be a lot easier, or it would stay out. There's not really a way to bring it in and sort of only make the game a little bit easier. God, losing my voice here. But yeah, there you have it. That's discussion video number 1. I'm sort of planning the topics as I go, so next week's topic, or in a couple of days' time, will be something different. The list of things I've got to cover. I'll just get them up actually. Oh yeah, here they are. I'm thinking about talking about quests, so like the best ones, the worst ones, the most fun and the most tedious. Updates I loved and updates I've hated, both from OSRS and RuneScape. PKing and PvP and sort of deadman mode, the wilderness, skilling, specifically mining and fishing, my first 299s, clue scrolls, my YouTube days on RuneScape, so talking about sort of the time back in, goes back to 2012 actually, and my favourite moments from the past is definitely in there, and then maybe just a video on why I play the, why do I play the game. So, and yeah, a lot to come over the next few weeks to keep you occupied in that respect. No sport unfortunately, but I'm just going to be doing some discussion. I might do some writing too on topics that I cover in these videos, so if you want to go head over to my portfolio or my personal blog, you'll be able to read some stuff on there, and I'll also update my social media if and when I publish anything. So yeah, thank you very much for watching or listening to the video. If you did, next one should be out soon hopefully, as I've got no real excuse now for not producing content like this. But yeah, enjoyed talking about the Grand Exchange in this one. If you've got an opinion on it, please let me know, put it in the comments. Do you support the GE, or do you support it now, or did you support it before it came in? Have you always wanted it? Have you never wanted it? It is quite a controversial topic, I think. But yeah, if you've got an opinion, feel free to get in touch, and I'd love to hear what, as a journalist, I've got to consider all opinions, so please, yeah, get in touch if you can. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you're staying safe and well, and I will see you in the next video.